Tonight at 6, we had the latest details on the East Palestine derailment, how the City of Kent's fire department responded to the scene.
A new program with continuing education has debuted at Kent. Our reporter Avery Savage has the updates.
Right around the corner with a warm weather and some rain coming up next week. I have your full weather forecast later tonight.
It's National Umbrella Day. Find out the history of this popular object and more as TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good Friday evening, Portage County. Welcome back to the first newscast of the semester. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Gabby Jonas.
And I'm Olivia Sharp.
We start tonight with the Kent connection to the East Palestine trail derailment.
That's right. A Kent firefighter was integral in the evacuation and detonation of the train. Our reporter Jacob Brooks has more.
That's right, guys. It has been 1 week since the East Palestine train derailment, and now we are learning more about the response and how local officials provided aid to the community.
Responders from across Northeast Ohio, including the Kent Fire Department.
On the third day, they needed help from outside of their county, so that's when the state EMA was activated so that we would respond out there.
A total of 17 first responders from Kent and Portage County were on the scene for about 12 hours on Monday. At one point, Peeps was so close to the train he could touch it.
There was no heat, just lots of smoke and different things, but luckily that was blowing away from us.
He was part of the team that made the decision to create the controlled explosion. That team included the EPA, Governor DeWine, and a group from Texas that specializes in situations like this.
A lot of decision makers were in the room trying to come up with the best plan.
They decided on this as the best plan.
They put a little bit of explosive on top and a little bit of explosive on the bottom of each car. They detonated the bottom and then the top. It drained out the fire from the explosion, lit it on fire, and then it burned. Those would probably be two career incidents that you would think as something that you'd only see once, and that's two of them here in the last 3 months.
This was the 5th derailment Peeps has responded to in his 25-year career, and even with the harmful chemicals on board, he wasn't concerned for his health.
We approached the scene from a safe direction, and we did things that you're supposed to do.
In the end, he said this was a good experience for his team.
I think they thought it was a good experience and getting to interact with people from all over the state.
Now, the evacuation order was lifted on Wednesday and the recovery process has started. East Palestine residents can now return to their homes. Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Jacob Brooks.
The Flash's activity board is hosting an enchanted formal tomorrow night. Fab is encouraging all Kent students to wear their finest attire and dance the night away to music provided by Black Squirrel Radio. Fab is putting on this formal for anyone who missed their school dances because of COVID and those who have never been to a college formal. Registration is required and students can do so on the KSU Engage website.
Main Street Ravenna will be hosting the Winter Writing Festival for the first time since the last showcase in 2020. The event will kick off with local author and former columnist of the Beacon Journal, David Giffels. Giffels will lead the workshops taking place with other various authors throughout the day. The event will take place February 18th with tickets starting at just $10 on mainstreetravenna.org.
This Saturday, the Friends of Garrettsville Library will be dedicating the youth room at the library to longtime volunteer Terry Lawless, who died in 2021 of COVID-19. Lawless was known for her story times with the children as well as spending 47 years as a librarian and volunteer. The dedication will take place at 1 p.m. and will officially become the Miss Terry Youth Library.
Akron City Police will be reinforcing dash cam cameras this summer after City Council voted 13-0 this past Monday. The decision comes after the June killing of Jalen Walker, a 25-year-old unarmed DoorDash driver that was shot 46 times by Akron police. Deputy Chief Michael Caprez said officials installed 145 flock cameras by the end of 2020 that aid police in vehicle license plate numbers, color, make, and model of a car. The new and potentially additional cameras are said to be fully operational by the end of June.
Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. I'm your weather anchor, Nuried Hurtado, with your Friday forecast. Let's see how the weather is going around in Kent. So right now we have 38 degrees, but it feels like 30, a little bit colder. The dew point is at 29, and the wind is going west 13 miles per hour. So keep that in mind if you are walking around. That's why the temperature is going to feel a little bit colder. The humidity is at 67%, and the visibility at 10 miles. Now going into tomorrow, we have 42 degrees, sunny skies with a high of 32 Fahrenheit and low of 26 Fahrenheit. It's going to be a little bit colder compared to today. The winds are going to be light and variable, and the wind is going to be west-southwest between 4 to 6 miles per hour, and the sunset is going to be at 5:55 p.m. Now going for the rest of our night, we have at midnight we're going to have partly cloudy skies at 30 degrees. And tomorrow morning we're going to have 26 degrees. The temperature is going to go low too, and the partly cloudy skies are going to stay for the morning. At noon, however, we're going to have sunny skies at 35 degrees. Well, that's all I have for you right now, but stick with us to see what your weather will look like for the rest of the week. Back to you both.
A potentially new life-saving blood substitute development is underway in Cleveland. Case Western Reserve researchers say their development is successful enough to save thousands of lives. Current efforts are said to reduce barriers relating to time and availability to help people such as veterans and those involved in potentially fatal car accidents. The blood development is said to take several more years of approval by the FDA before being released to the public.
The Cleveland police announced they will be giving away free anti-theft devices to owners of Kias and Hyundais following a rise in stolen vehicles. The devices will be available on a first-come, first-served basis for those who live in the city or those who work in the city full-time. Owners of 2015 to 2021 Kia and Hyundais can head to one of 5 neighborhood police districts and receive their device.
And an emergency directors meeting is set to take place February 13th by the Cleveland Police Patrolmen's Association. The meeting is said to hold a vote of no confidence of safety with Director Carrie Howard after blatant bias was made toward Irish police was made. The report comes after a press release from the Patrolmen's Association. At this time, the Cleveland Police Patrolmen's Association said the only solution to Howard's actions is by derailment. Senior citizens 60 and over are taking Kent State University courses for audit. More about their experiences at the school and why they chose this academic experience.
South Carolina has passed a new abortion ban. The details and what local senators are saying about it.
We continue with a developing story from Alaska. The U.S. military shot down a high-altitude object that was flying over Alaskan airspace. The Pentagon has been tracing the object for 24 hours.
National Security Official Counsel John Kirby stated that they would not call it a balloon since they truly do not know what it is and whether the object is state or privately owned. Follow Kent Wired on Twitter for updates on this story.
Well, in other news, we all know I'm a senior in college, but did you know there are other seniors in college, more specifically, senior citizens?
That's right. The new Senior Guest Program through Continuing Education allows senior citizens to audit courses at Kent. Our reporter Avery Savage has the story.
That's right, guys. Kent State now offers free tuition for senior citizens 60 and up, giving them the opportunity to learn something new.
State's Senior Guest Program allows seniors 60 and up the chance to audit classes on a tuition-free basis. The statewide program is offered at many universities around Ohio and gives seniors the chance to expand their education later in life.
Our office has the responsibility for administering it, which involves promoting the program. We maintain the website, managing the registration and admission process, communicating with faculty members.
Seniors can register for 2 classes of interest after admitted university students register for theirs, as long as the class meets guidelines, has available seats, and the faculty member approves.
Imagine a class that you found really interesting, but now you don't have to take the tests and you don't have to worry about a grade. You can just listen.
Senior students can relax without the pressure of getting graded. And for one student, a women's literature course has given her a sense of community.
It's just really paying attention to the text and paying attention to the students and the women in this class around me that are fabulous, role models for me even.
After working as a registered nurse and social worker for many years, Neil says it's nice to learn at her own pace.
I'm here Tuesdays and Thursdays this semester, midday, and I really look forward to it around the other things that I do in my life.
Neil said the enrolling process was easy, and she hopes other seniors will give the program a go too.
I would say, yeah, just do it. It'll be perhaps a little frightening first go around, but you just get in the swing just like I'm sure regular college students do, and it's just a really good experience.
Bocrest says the university plans to continue implementing these courses at Kent State. You can learn more about the program by visiting kent.edu/CDE. Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Avery Savage.
Thanks, Avery. Well, I know you're excited to live for the big game this weekend, just a few days away.
Absolutely. I'm very excited, but we now are going to toss things over to Michael Neenan for some Super Bowl stories you need to know.
How's it going, Portage County? Super Bowl Sunday is fast approaching, and off the field, there are plenty of stories heading into the game. Of course, starting off, 10 former NFL players are suing the league's disability benefits program, Commissioner Roger Goodell, and the Disability Board, accusing them of wrongfully denying benefits and limiting payments. The players also accuse the board of only using case summaries from the plan's law firm to review disability claims rather than the full medical records as required by law. And with Super Bowl Sunday on the horizon, here are a few tips to save yourself from some money on Super Bowl parties. First off, don't buy any pre-made food dishes as they are often overpriced. Also, use ingredients in your home to make side dishes instead of something elaborate. Finally, a pound of chicken wings is 22% cheaper as compared to last January, so be sure to take advantage of the low price. With all that food being served this weekend, it is important to take the proper precautions to prevent the spread of foodborne illness. Mandy Gather has more in today's Health Minute.
Time of year again, the Super Bowl and snacks. But don't let that food cause you to fumble.
1 in 6 Americans every year gets a foodborne illness.
Healthy people who get food poisoning may have a couple of days of digestive discomfort, but for seniors, children, and those with a suppressed immune system, these illnesses can be serious. You can protect yourself and others by following 4 steps. Clean, wash your hands and surfaces where food is being prepared and served. Separate, avoid cross-contamination.
By using separate cutting boards, knives, other utensils with different types of food, particularly raw versus cooked.
Cook foods thoroughly. Foodsafety.gov lists safe minimal internal temperatures, which vary based on the food you're cooking.
A thermometer is the only way to know if the particular food product has been thoroughly cooked.
Finally, don't leave food out at room temperature for more than 2 hours.
If it needs to be cold, put it in a bed of ice or keep it in the fridge and bring it out on occasion. If it's hot, keep it hot on the stove, on a burner, on a hot plate.
Don't let those leftovers sideline you either. Experts say it's best to divide them into smaller portions before you refrigerate or freeze to make sure the food is chilled throughout. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
That's all I have for today. Be sure to enjoy the big game responsibly and take all necessary precautions. I've been Michael Neenan. Stay safe, Portage County.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm your weather anchor, Nuried Hurtado, with the rest of your weather forecast. As for right now, let's check the temperatures around the whole state of Ohio. We have 59 in Dayton, 61 in Cincinnati, 71 in Columbus, Lima 51, and Athens 73. They're having a good day around there. 71 in Steubenville and 69 in Akron. Now going to Northeast Ohio, we have 66 in Mansfield, 61 in Sandusky, 67 in Worcester, and 69 in Cleveland being the highest temperature of the day. We have 68 in Kent and Canton and Youngstown, and Ashtabula is on 66. Now for our 7-day forecast, we have for Saturday we have partly cloudy skies, and for Saturday and Sunday partly cloudy skies between 40 and 50 degrees. On Monday we're going to have 50 degrees between, it's going to be partly cloudy as well. We're going to get the lowest temperature we're going to have is 28 during this weekend and starting on Monday, so keep that in mind. For Tuesday, we have 52 degrees, and it's going to be mostly sunny, and Wednesday is going to be partly cloudy. However, on Thursday, we're going to see highest temperature of 61, but it's going to still be a little bit rainy. So keep that in mind. You have to walk to classes, to take those umbrellas out, and have a little bit of fun on Wednesday, since we're going to have high temperatures. That's all I have for you tonight. Stay safe, Portage County. I'll see you soon.
The South Carolina Senate has passed a new law banning abortion up to 6 weeks into a pregnancy when cardiac activity is measured. The law includes exceptions for rape, incest, fetal anomaly, and patient health, and would allow abortions in these cases up to 12 weeks. South Carolina has been locked in a heated debate about abortion bans since 2021.
Over in Washington, D.C., a meeting took place earlier today at the White House with a bipartisan group of governors from the annual winter meeting. The gathering is set in place for all 55 governors from every state and territory from President Biden to gauge how he's being perceived. Both President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris said they used the meeting to follow up on their economic agenda and find out how each state have used their federal funding.
Thursday night, the U.S. Space Force launched the unarmed intercontinental ballistic missile from Vandenberg Space Force Base. The long-range nuclear-capable missile is called Minuteman III. The base said the test was focused on the weapons security, safety, and effectiveness. The U.S. tests its weapon systems regularly to check accuracy and reliability.
Now, former Ohio State football player Demetrius Stanley has died at 48 after a 3-year battle with prostate cancer. He was a wide receiver for the Buckeyes from 1993 to 1996.
During his time at Ohio State, Stanley played in 45 games and was Big Ten Player of the Week twice. After his diagnosis, Stanley started a nonprofit called Brave Men to help others diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Now, police have designated a terror attack in eastern Jerusalem after a 6-year-old boy and 20-year-old man were killed this afternoon after a driver crashed into a bus stop near the Israel and Palestinian border. The attacker was a 31-year-old Palestinian and Israeli citizen, Hussein Karak, and was shot dead by police. Eyewitnesses said that the man accelerated into a group of Israelis before the Jewish observance of Shabbat. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu released a statement to seal off the terrorist home, and the Office of Palestinian Affairs in the U.S. Embassy condemned the attack. An 8-year-old boy is in critical condition, and 4 others are wounded at this time.
The Miami Zoo is welcoming 3 new otter pups to the family. Find out the babies' names and more adorable updates.
Buffalo to take on the Bulls for some action. Stick around for the preview.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Hello, Portage County. I'm Nico Crespo with your daily sports report. Let's head in and see what's happening in sports today. Let's start off with some action. The Kent State Golden Flashes take on the Buffalo Bulls in Buffalo tonight. Kent State is currently in the first place in the MAC conference with an overall record of 19-5. The Buffalo Bulls are 12-12. This is a big game for the Golden Flashes to pick up the win, so make sure you're watching at 6 p.m. on ESPN2. Then we got a score update from Buffalo. Score is going to be 16-12 Bulls. We got to pick it up and, make some baskets. Transitioning into the NBA trade deadline, it was one of the wildest yet, so let's get into some of the trades that happened before yesterday's trade deadline. After the blockbuster deals of Stark having Durant getting traded to the Suns, Jay Crowder was expected to be a huge piece in Brooklyn's rebuilding culture until Jay Crowder was sent to the Milwaukee Bucks in a 3-team deal including the Pacers and the Nets. The Nets sent Crowder to the Bucks for 5 second-round picks. The Pacers got forward Jordan Nwora, guard George Hill, and forward Serge Ibaka, who intends on getting released later today. Next up, we have the Clippers getting guard Bones Highland in a deal with the Denver Nuggets for 2 second-round picks. This was an absolute steal for the Los Angeles Clippers, who also added Mason Plumlee with the trade with the Charlotte Hornets to bolster out their team for the playoff push. The Golden State Warriors entered a 3-team deal with the Atlanta Hawks and the Detroit Pistons, where the Hawks got young star Sadiq Bey. The Pistons get young center James Wiseman, and the Warriors get Kevin Knox and 5 second-round picks. Only 4 teams did not make a trade this deadline, meaning this is one of the more active trade deadlines in a while. For a full list of trades, head on over to NBA.com. Staying in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers are taking on the New Orleans Pelicans tonight at 10 p.m. on ESPN. The Cavaliers are 35-22 with a one-game lead on the 4 seed. The Pelicans are 29-27 and are currently in the top play-in spot, hoping to get to the 6th seed. The Cavaliers have taken on the Pelicans earlier this year, with the Cavs pushing past the Pelicans 113-103. Darius Garland dropped 30 points in the last matchup, so look for a repeat of performance. This should be the healthiest Cavs team that they have since the beginning of the year, so hope for a good game tonight. That's all I have for tonight. For updates on anything Kent sports, follow at TV2 KSU Sports on Twitter for more updates. I've been Nico Crespo. Have a good night, Portage County.
And with spring quickly approaching, we are celebrating in the newsroom tonight the nifty tool Mary Poppins used herself floating down from the sky. More on this history of the umbrella's birthday when we return. Cuteness alert! The Miami, Florida Zoo's Mama Otter Zima delivered 3 new healthy baby otter pups into the world. The babies include 1 female and 2 tiny, adorable males. Oh, look at them. Weighing in at 150 grams, the family is undergoing exams and bonding behind the scenes with their mom before being available to see by the public.
Rihanna fans rejoice! It's National Umbrella Day! Just kidding, not that umbrella. Today we are celebrating that trusty tool that keeps you dry in the rain. Umbrellas have been used since the early Greeks and Romans, and umbrella shops have been open since the 1800s. Just make sure you don't open one inside. And for all you Rihanna fans, don't worry, she still may perform her hit song this Sunday at the Super Bowl halftime show.
Okay, now Liv, have you ever seen baby otters hold hands?
I have not,
I
have not, but I was watching a whole bunch of otter videos as soon as I saw that we had this story. I love it so much. Aren't they just so darling?
I'm taking those are your favorite animals.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Do we need to make a trip down to Miami to visit the new baby otters?
I think we should.
I mean,
we should. Spring is quickly approaching,
Absolutely.
but it's still cold, as Nuried was telling us.
Yes.
So I think we're due for a little. We should go see the baby pups when they're available to the public.
Oh, of course. Right now they're still bonding with mom, which is so cute.
So cute. I'm sure they're just like all playing in their pen.
I know. Oh my goodness. Are otters one of your favorite animals?
So okay, otters are very cute. I'm more of a giraffe land mammal.
Completely understandable.
Right?
Giraffes are really awesome.
Okay, now you were talking about Super Bowl, Rihanna, Umbrella.
Yes.
Do you think umbrellas will make an appearance?
Oh, of course. I would love it if they do it a la Tom Holland lip sync, if they do a whole rain and a big performance, but I think she'll probably perform Umbrella, Diamonds. Okay. It's sure to be a great show no matter what she does.
I think it's going to be a great show. Well, that's all we have time for you tonight. Thank you for joining us.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website at kentwire.com and follow us on all of our social media at KentWire. I'm Olivia Sharp.
And I'm Gabby Jonas. Have a great night, Portage County.